How do you count the cost of a nation's soul? By 1868, the Paraguayan army wasn't made of soldiers anymore. It was made of ghosts. As the adult male population was fed into the meat grinder of the Estero Bellico, the front lines began to look like a nightmare from which there was no waking up. Imagine a battlefield where the enemy looks across the smoke and realizes they aren't fighting men, but children. At the Battle of Acosta, you boys, as young as 9, wore false beards made of sheep's wool, gripping sticks carved to look like rifles just to fill the gaps in the line. They stood their ground until they were cut down by Brazilian cavalry in one of the darkest crimes in military history. This wasn't just a loss of territory. It was a demographic collapse, so absolute it felt like an erasure. Famine and cholera followed the retreating refugees into the mountains, turning the lush Cordilleras into a trail of skeletal remains. Families vanished, entire lineages were snuffed out, and the culture of a thriving nation was systematically dismantled. By the time the silence finally fell, nearly 90% of the men were gone, leaving a country of widows and orphans to rebuild from the ashes. The price of one man's pride was the literal lifeblood of his people.